Okay, I'm going to call this meeting of the Gladstone City Commission for Monday, September 22nd, 2014 at 7 p.m. to order. It's a regular meeting. First item on our agenda will be the invocation that will be led by Commissioner Jay Bostwick. All rise, please.
Lord, let us watch over us and have us good decisions for the city of Gladstone. In your name.
Amen. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Will City Clerk call the roll, please?
Commissioner Nemechek?
Here.
Commissioner Bostwick?
Here.
Commissioner Gay?
Here.
Commissioner Mattinen?
Here.
Mayor Mackey?
Here. Next item on our agenda is public comment. Anybody who'd like to address the City Commission, if you'd take the podium and state your name and your address. Hearing nothing. City Manager has 3 items under public comment tonight.
First of all, I would like to introduce our newest employee, Kyle McIntyre. At least stand. You don't have to say anything, but we just hired Kyle recently in our Parks and Recreation Department. He's been with us a couple years as a seasonal employee, but now he's full-time with us, so he'll be working mainly with Jason Davis, our Assistant Director, and getting trained in all areas of Parks and Recreation, and welcome.
Thank you. You have to give a speech, by the way, Kyle. Welcome. Thank you.
Next, I would like to present 2 checks. WPPI is the company that we purchase power from, and they have some incentive programs that the city definitely takes advantage of. And one of them is community promotion. So I would like to award 2 different checks tonight. One to the high school robotics team. The amount is $400. The high school robotics did very well last year, right?
Yes.
You're on track to do it again this year?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Thank you. So
Anything you want to tell the public or update us on?
Is there well, we...
Should they go to the microphone? For the world?
You didn't like that idea, did you?
No?
Thank you for the check. We will use it to buy parts to build our robot, and thank you on behalf of the Gladstone High School robotics team.
How much is your budget in a year?
Last year, because we made it to the state finals and world championships in St. Louis, Missouri, we spent like $42,000 or so between materials and travel and all the stuff that goes with it. So we spent quite a bit, but it was incredible what the kids got to experience.
Yes.
We got to play robot in the Edward Jones Dome in St. Louis, so where the Rams plays.
Wow.
And you walk out there, it was pretty sweet. So.
What an experience for the kids.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Tim, was that the only shirt you could find wearing tonight?
I was going to ask you, they run out of Green Bay
actually won
shirts?
last night, so I thought I'd wear it.
How did the Packers do this?
Oh, a Lions fan. Here we go.
We're giving away shirts right now.
So
We didn't ask
congratulations
you.
and good luck this year.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
The next check is for the, I'm told new this year, there's a junior high robotics program, and we're giving the junior high $100 this year. Elementary, okay, I'm sorry. So tell us about, this is a new program, right?
It's a new program because I was strong-armed by Tim Barron to start this program. And my son Connor and some of the other 4th graders, so I really don't know the whole process. We're trying to fundraise right now. I just ordered the Lego pieces, and you would not believe how much these Lego pieces cost for just building this robot.
Yep.
You know, I spent over $1,000 today. Actually, out of Tim's coffer right now, and I have to fundraise. We have to fundraise to try to pay him back. So.
Good. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Hopefully this is a good start for you, and we'll keep the money rolling into you.
We appreciate it very much.
Yep. Thank you.
That was it for public comment then?
Yep.
Very good. We'll move on to the consent agenda, which tonight we have the City Commission regular meeting minutes held on September 8th, 2014. We have City Commission, we had a special meeting on September 8th of 2014. We have Planning Commission had a regular meeting, their minutes of August 12th, 2014. We had the Downtown Development Authority had a regular meeting minutes of September 9 of 2014. We had the Economic Development Corporation, which had regular meeting minutes of September 9, 2014, and we have payment of bills. And we were also given an additional item that's wasn't on the payment of bills. It's some weapons and ammunition for our Public Safety Department that's got to be included. So that's our consent agenda tonight.
I'd move to approve the amended consent agenda to include the public safety expenditure.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Gay, supported by Commissioner Nemechek to approve the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, that motion is carried. Moving on to public hearings, we have a public hearing tonight, a public hearing for an urgent need community development block grant. Mr. Buckman.
Well, we applied for, we were first turned down for the FEMA grant that was going through because the UP didn't have enough money, and then the governor came up with this CDBG grant, and Renee has helped me out immensely because she's an expert on CDBG grants. And we came up with some projects, which is pretty neat because we're going to replace 4 blocks of water main in an area that this past winter and the winter of '84, they were our headaches, and now we're going to go through and put all new water mains, insulate them, all new, there'll be new pavement, new laterals to each one of the houses, and so it's going to be a really good project, and any future terrible winters, it should save us a lot of time.
So last year when you had a problem, you just patched it up? Now
Yeah,
you're gonna
we just,
put a new main in?
yeah, and now we'll be able to, we're going to replace from alley approach to alley approach, opposite alley approach actually, so across the roads, and this will pay for everything. We used our expenses to date, the $172,000 as our match, and local streets are going to throw $10,000 in because we're going to get one of the projects is 4th Street by your old house. We're going to do from 9th to 8th, or no,
Hey, 7th.
7th to 9th. We're going to do 2 blocks, which needs to be replaced bad anyway. So, and the DDA is going to throw in $50,000. There's another grant that's become available that I'm sending one of my operators up to look at tomorrow, where there's another $100,000 per community that might be available. So hopefully we might be able to get that to pay for some of our local match. So, but right now, in part 2 of the grant application, we need to have a public hearing, and then we need to have this approved by the commission.
So,
I have a quick question for you, Eric. I didn't get to read the specifics on it, but it's my understanding that the city of Escanaba decided not to pursue, is that the same, they decided not to pursue a grant, an emergency grant for the winter, the harsh winter? I couldn't get the specifics on it. I didn't know if you knew exactly.
I haven't had a chance to
They
talk.
applied for the same grant.
Okay.
For $285,000.
Okay.
They were only awarded just over $12,000.
Oh,
The same grant as this?
okay.
What are our chances of getting it?
We've already been asked to apply for part 2, so we've already been kind of locked in at $298,000, as long as we go through the public hearing and submit all the documents they need and,
So we got 298 and Escanaba got 12?
right.
Oh, well.
Sounds reasonable to me.
don't ask any questions.
No, I'll shut up now. I like your title of your project, though.
I didn't
Frozen
name it.
Happy
I didn't-
Rock is what it says on
I
what
didn't
we're
name
reading.
it. Somebody's sitting at the table over there.
Okay,
It was an accident. I typed it in there just to fill a hole, and then
Yeah.
I had to change it, and it forgot to get changed.
So we're going to have a public hearing. So we're going to open the public hearing for a minute, normally is what we usually do. We'll hold it open longer if there's public comment. So you want to start the clock? Okay, so we've got anybody who would like to comment, please take the podium.
The main part of the project is going to be the alleyway. It's south of Dakota. It's be from South 6th to South 7th Street, and the alley south of Montana Avenue, South 6th to South 7th, and 4th Avenue North right away from 7th to 9th Street. They also have a sewer main on Minnesota Avenue that we're going to be.
What was the main problem that you had? Did it just not buried deep enough?
Yeah, these are all 4-inch cast iron mains that they dug in by hand.
And there wasn't a lot of volume going through either.
Yeah.
That sewer that you're replacing, is that the one you had issues with that froze this past year?
Yeah.
Is that the same? It
Yeah.
was kind of an odd piping configuration, if I remember
Yes.
correctly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, if there being no further comments, the public hearing is closed, so I'd entertain a motion if there's, the commission is so inclined.
Also move on part 2 of the urgent need grant.
Support?
Moved by Commissioner Nemechek, supported by Commissioner Gay to approve the urgent need community development block grant as presented to us by the Water and Wastewater Supervisor, Mr. Buckman. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion's carried.
Thank you.
Moving on our agenda to unfinished business, we don't have any tonight, so we move to new business. The first item is a new ball field and renovation. Jason Davis, our Assistant Parks and Recreation Director.
Nicole is out of town, so Jason's filling in for Nicole.
This is the second Hannibal grant that we're going to apply for this sports park project. The first one was for the irrigation, which we fired it up last week, and everything worked good. We were just waiting on the communication from the rainbirds to the pumps down on the bottom of the hill. This second Hannibal grant is going to include the. If you look at that page that I have the quote on from Beck's Ornamental and Turf Management. It will include the new ball field, which will be a 40-60 Little League ball field, and then the renovating of the existing Cannon field into a dual-purpose field, which will be a 50-70, 60-90 field.
So you'll go from 3 fields to 4 then?
Correct. With the one, we're going to switch over to a dual-purpose field for, we'll be the only city in the UP that will be able to host 13-year-old All-Stars.
And this is going to
Or
handle,
state champions.
this would handle the irrigation for both the new field and that renovated field, correct?
Yep, the irrigation we put in place has enough. It's open for that fourth field that we're putting in if we get these grants. So we'll be able to just tap into that existing line to water that new field.
And the reason why you're able to pursue the original grant to get the irrigation system, and now this grant to add a 4th field and renovate the other field is because it was identified in our master plan for the sports park, right?
Correct.
So you're implementing the master plan.
Yep. And then we're also I just received the passport grant that we used to match this grant, or use this grant as matching funds for the passport grant. I just received the scoring last week, and I have to revise some scoring, different things, so we can get a better score. And that grant will be awarded in November. So.
And how much was that for?
$45,000.
Any further questions from the commission? Or?
Is there only the one bid?
You know, yes, so far. I've been in contact with Tom Watson. He's done different fields with this company, as they do schools. They do also their fields in conjunction with those. So I'm getting other contractors from him that he uses to do these. But Beck's is well known. You know, they do this all over the place. And
Is there anybody local or Delta County that does this kind of work?
I don't have it. I'm working on that right now.
Okay, I just wondered. I'd rather get somebody a little more local if we could. I know Bex is around, I've seen their trucks around. Yeah.
You're not obviously awarding a contract. This is just for the purposes of applying for the grant.
Correct. Yep.
I'd move permission to apply for the Hannibal 2% grant for the balance of the ball field estimate.
I second it.
Motion Commissioner Matten, supported by Commissioner Bostwick to approve the new ball field renovation grant to the Hannahville community. All those in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed. That motion is carried. The next item on our agenda is the Michigan Department of Transportation TAP grant for the non-motorized path that we've talked about many times. It basically follows South Lakeshore Drive to US 2 and 41 and goes south to basically where you break off of Highway 2 and 41 to go to the terrace. It says responsible staff is Nicole Sanderson, and obviously she's not here tonight, so
I'm taking this one for her.
Okay.
Yep. So we've been working with several parties regarding this non-motorized trail, working very closely with Vince Bevins from MDOT, trying to pair quite a few grants together, so there's hopefully no local match for the trail. We hired UP engineers last year. That was funded through a Hannahville 2% grant, so thank you, Hannahville, for $14,000. The study was to make sure that the area we were looking at was feasible to build this non-motorized trail. So they determined it is. The total project cost is estimated at $1.8 million. This is the first grant application we're submitting for this. So we're asking for $1.2 million. The TAP grant is an 80-20 grant. The next grant application is due April 1st, and that is through MD&R Trust Fund grant, and we're going to ask for $300,000 there. And then there's a couple different grants for the third source. We're probably preferring Waterways. Waterways, Nicole is familiar with. They helped us fund the fishing pier, and since this non-motorized trail will have areas where you can actually get off the trail and fish, so we're hoping to kind of pair the two together and get some $300,000 in Waterways. That would be the whole $1.8 million. A lot of money, so we're just going to keep going after grants until we can secure the funds and get it built.
Must take a lot of fill. Must be a lot of fill in there. If we're talking.
I don't remember much fill in the original design by UP engineers. They would where they weren't staying at grade, they would build above grade with probably wood. So I don't think they were going to be doing any filling activities.
No?
I don't think so.
Boardwalk.
Wow. That's a real cool project. I like that project. That's something long overdue.
Yeah.
Have to connect Escanaba and Gladstone.
This is the first piece.
Then for the benefit of those that haven't been involved in this starts right where, well, kind of opposite the armory.
Yep.
And it goes down to the lake, and then it'll go along the lake, on the lake side of the rail, of the guardrail. It'll go all the way down to where you turn into the terrace, and then the trail will follow the old highway. And when it gets to the Escanaba River, they plan on using the pilings that are there and have a bridge made over those pilings for the walking and bike riding, I assume.
Yep.
Doesn't have to be very wide bridge, doesn't take vehicles, but then that will connect into Wells and that'll connect into Escanaba. So you'll be able to ride your bike to Escanaba without being on the highway. Pretty good.
And they originally talked about having a millage question among the city of Gladstone, Escanaba Township, and perhaps Wells Township, and even the city of Escanaba, or at least certainly the city of Gladstone and Escanaba Township. Nicola finally said to the Parks and Recreation Board, she said, I think that we can identify enough grants, and if you will allow me the time on my own time to write the grants and take some administrative money for that, I will sit down and write grants. And those are what Darla just described to the commission and to the audience here tonight. So upshot is that the project should be able to go off without any millage questions. Walkable communities is something we've heard as a commission a number of times from the Michigan Municipal League as being a really desirable feature of a city, and this makes our community even more walkable, I think. I think it's a cool project too.
Well, I'll make a motion to start with the application for the MDOT TAP grant.
One second.
Motion by Commissioner Bostwick, supported by Commissioner Matlin to approve the submission of the MDOT TAP grant for the walkway project. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That motion is carried. Last item on our agenda, when I looked at this, I went, what the heck? And I asked my wife, I said, did you ever hear of Pladger Day before? We're being asked to pass resolution 2014-07, participate in Pladger Day by wearing plaid on Friday, October 3, 2014.
You're all set, Steve.
A little background on this one. Dave Nyberg, originally from Gladstone, he's the governor's UP representative, called me a couple weeks ago and said, I just want to pass an idea by you and maybe introduce you to somebody over the phone. And so that's where this came from. And I said, this sounds fun and exciting. Let's go ahead with it. So that kind of got me and Justin Bugsy Saylor communicating via email. And we did touch base over the phone. So he started this in 2011. He was teased by his coworkers for wearing plaid a lot. And he said, well, I'm going to show you. I'm going to make a national holiday regarding plaid. So he began this in 2011. If you go to Pladder Day on the website, he's got pictures of people in Lansing on the steps of the Capitol all wearing plaid on whatever the first Friday was that year in October. So it's just a fun thing. This year he's working with Baraga and us. So he actually chose Gladstone to pitch this idea to. Baraga, Gladstone, and one other community that they're having celebrations at different times of the day. He would like to, make each one. I haven't really. We've talked a little bit internally about what we could do here, within the city and stuff. So look for more information on our website, on Facebook, in the news. We'll try
Not too far off, October 3rd.
Right. Yep. But it's not. I mean, it's just a fun thing to have happen.
So he's suggesting that on that day you could hug someone who's wearing a plaid shirt. You could compliment someone else's plaid. You can encourage someone wearing Argyle to try plaid. You could encourage someone wearing only horizontal stripes to try adding vertical stripes. Look good, feel good, and spread happiness and joy. You could throw a Pladger Day party, or you could organize a plaid-wearing bar outing. There's some thoughts. It says Madras on the page before that. It said some prefer Glen plaid, others traditional tartan. Some prefer a monochrome gingham, and others choose a bull buffalo, while some choose a Madras.
I didn't know there was a difference.
Steve did. So,
I'd move to adopt resolution number 2014-07, Pladger Day.
Support.
moved by Commissioner Gay, supported by Commissioner Nemechek to approve the resolution number 2014-07. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, that motion is carried. Thank you. Next item on our agenda is the city manager's reports.
Just a couple meetings. Last Thursday and Friday, I was out of town meeting with other UP city managers. We get together twice a year and just kind of see, talk about the winter freeze and all the things that we're working with, funding sources and lack of revenue. And I have some very good information for tomorrow's master planning session, so anxious to share that. We had a good presentation by an engineer in Marquette. Has some different ideas of traditional designing of subdivisions and stuff to what he's seeing happen in real life with developers.
Tomorrow at 5:30, the Gladstone City Commission and the Gladstone Planning Commission will have a joint work session to discuss a community master plan.
Yep. We also talked earlier tonight a little bit about the TIF legislation that is working its way through. Hopefully it will be completely amended before, if it gets passed or before it gets passed. It would definitely reduce our funding in the DDA So we'll stay tuned to that. Tomorrow, we're meeting with Clear Zoning for the master plan. Wednesday night, 5 to 7, business after hours at OSF's new physical therapy place in Escanaba. Everybody's invited to that. Thursday night, 6 o'clock, we're going to have a meeting with several residents on Delta Avenue and 4th Street regarding a project that we're going to, weather permitting, try to begin this fall. If not, tackle it real hard in the spring. It's a federal aid project. We get $187,500 from federal aid. We won't get more federal aid funding now until, I believe it's 2018. So we try to stretch those dollars as far as we can. We're going to redo some corner approaches for ADA accessibility, and then the actual street will be a mill and resurface of the street.
They've actually started some of that on 4th Street.
They were going to try to do some corners.
4th and Montana.
Okay.
Maybe Minneapolis too.
And then we're also going to try to pair that project with Eric's sewer project that crosses 4th Street. So last I have is Saturday, September 27th. Don't forget the Gladstone self-funded baseball team is having a run walk. Starts out at the high school. So that's all I have.
Moving on to city commission and committee reports. Anything from the commissioners? I guess I'd inform the audience that we were here already tonight at 5 o'clock where we went over the audit for the fiscal year that ended on March 31st. We received a good report in terms of our financial check. Our financial system is working properly. We don't have a lot of money, but neither does everybody else. We're spending our money in a way that can be audited, and we're achieving what it is we're trying to achieve through our budgeting process. So we received a good, clean bill of health on our audit. I said we have a planning commission meeting, joint planning commission meeting tomorrow. So. Boards and commission reports. I went to a special DDA meeting today. The DDA was, we have a new special events coordinator, and she challenged she asked the DDA, she said, you know, do you think we should have a mission statement? It came up in the routine course of doing business, so we had a special meeting of a subcommittee of the DDA today. I guess I'd report to the commission. I really, think the addition of the special events coordinator is working out really well for the DDA. She's able to follow up on things that we didn't have the staff to do, and I think she's doing a really nice job. Moving back to public comment, if there is any public comment, we have a second shot at this point in the agenda. Hearing none, we'll move to the city commissioner comments. We'll start with Commissioner Nemechek.
I would first like to compliment Darla and her staff. Obviously, they've been busy gathering grants, working on grants, and I think you can tell by all that's gone on tonight that they're doing a good job at it. I had a question on the sports park. Have you had to replace the fencing at all around the Little League field ever?
Jason, take the podium.
The reason I ask is that many years ago, when my wife Barbara and Judy Talkerman started Girls Little League in Gladstone and sent me out to get sponsors, I was the sponsor guy. My brother Fred was working for U.S. Steel Fence Company in Waukegan, Illinois, and we got a bunch of fence from them for 10 cents on a dollar. It was a big rejected order from someone. And I just wonder if that fence is still around, or?
Yeah. As far as I know, it hasn't been
still
changed.
there?
Yeah, as far as I know, it hasn't been.
Okay, I just wondered, because I have no way of knowing what's new and old, and.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been around for that long. I mean, Eric might know more than me.
Yeah. Thank you. That's all I have.
Commissioner Bostwick.
Nothing.
Commissioner Gay.
I have nothing. Enjoy the, we do have a nice forecast for this week. I would enjoy it. Hopefully we don't they're saying we're supposed to have a colder winter than we had last year, but not quite as much snow. Hopefully they're wrong.
Yeah, I hope so.
Because we'll probably run into some more issues with Public Works, but the fall's here, but enjoy this week. That's all I've got.
Commissioner Mattinen.
I have nothing, thank you.
Commissioner Gay and myself and the city manager attended a meeting with Escanaba Township. They're demoing a new ladder truck. And we got to interface with a lot of the Escanaba Township people. I've said this to Escanaba Township people, so I'm not saying anything out of turn. Back when I worked here, the relationship between the township and the city was nowhere near as good as it is today, and we've been doing a lot of projects together, and we're starting to be together in events where we can share, you know, how we can help each other out. Of course, that's a big item for Governor Schneider. He thinks that taxpayers are not being served by everybody doing their own thing, and I don't disagree with him on that. And so there was quite a few people at the open house to look at the new truck that Escanaba Township is looking at purchasing. Our public safety director wasn't able to be there, but he gives his full support to it as well, along with our volunteer fire department. And so that was
I believe
really
all of
interesting
which were there. All of our volunteer firefighters, I believe, were
a
there.
big part of many ways were there to see the demo of the truck, and so that was a good meeting. I also got a notice that QPAD's having a meeting on 12B Regional Rural Task Force meeting. This is about road funding again, so I'm assuming you've gotten a notice of that as well. You do now.
Thank you.
In case you want to send somebody from staff there. I think that's where they develop their priorities for the money you were talking about for 4th Street. So, with that, if there's nothing else, we will stand adjourned and go home, watch Tigers win a baseball game.